So what I want to try doing today is a proper hamon. Now, some of you may remember when we did the third Simple Little Life build along where we all were kind of making the little petty knives at the same time. I wanted to do a hamon on that blade, but I didn't actually do a proper hamon. I did an edge quench, so we definitely have differential heat treating, and there's a really nice line there. Turned out great and a lot of nice contrast. But I believe if you look at what a hamon is, I think very technically and very specifically, it's actually an intentional pattern with the heat treating line. So we're gonna do that today. When I did that last video, the reason I never did an actual hamon, we just had a differential heat treat line, was because I didn't have any suitable medium for the insulating layer, some type of a mortar or something like that. During that process, a local knife maker named Ryland, he actually reached out to me and said that he had extra of this stuff, this refractory cement. So I think that's gonna work fantastic. And Ryland, thank you so much, I appreciate that. I'll put a link to Ryland's Instagram in the description below. The knife we're gonna put this on is gonna be this sucker right here. This again is 1084, 1/8 of an inch thick. I do believe 1084 is kind of a good choice because it's a very shallow cooling steel. I know a lot of steels, they really don't hamon very well. 1084 is one that does. I think W2 does as well. I don't know for sure, but we're gonna make this kind of a Japanese knife here. First thing we need to do is make this knife, and then we'll start working on our cement. Sounds like I need to shake it up, mix it up a little bit too, but I think this stuff will work fairly well. This is rated up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. What I might do is actually try putting this just on a piece of regular steel, and that way I'll have an idea as to how long it actually takes to dry. Yeah. Oh, yuck. Oh my goodness, come on. Jeremy, what are you doing? I think from this point on, I'm gonna need like a whisk or a potato masher or something. Let me just see how long this takes to dry. That way we'll have an idea roughly how long I'll have to wait before we can heat treat this, because I would like to heat treat that knife today, but well, I haven't made the knife yet, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's go make that knife. Alright guys, we've cut the blade out, we've profiled it, and we've done our rough grinds. Now I kind of got a little bit carried away with the rough grinds. I ended up taking this to 20 thousandths of an inch. You remember that build along video? I ended up grinding it too thin. Now that was with a 36-inch radius platen, so it stays thin for a long time, but I ended up getting a slight little crack during the heat treat, so I'm really hoping I didn't make that same silly mistake. I don't know, once you get grinding, you just kind of, woohoo, you're having fun, and it's hard to stop sometimes. I ground in a distal taper as well. You can kind of see this plunge, or this grind line is kind of indicative of that. So essentially, once we get to about here, we start tapering out this way. And I actually scratched a couple of grind lines, scribe lines on the top there, just so that I had a visual reference. I'm sure it's really not showing up too well in the camera, but you can see the distal taper there. It feels a lot lighter than it was before. So here's the actual product I'm using in case you might be interested. URC, United Refractories Company, Unibond 33 high temp mortar. Found this little mixturalizer. Oh yeah, that's good. Like that. Okay, slick as a whistling Dixie. So, I'm not sure if we should wipe this down, but we're going to. I don't ever think overly cleanliness is a bad thing, is it? Especially with your body, you know? You need to shower and stuff. It's kind of important. I hope that once we do the old heat treat, this stuff will actually come off. That would sure suck if it just didn't. Okay, so I got this thing clean. I've never done this before. I think what I'll do, just kind of start dolloping this stuff on. I'm gonna kind of coat all this here. Get a nice thick coating all over the spine, and then I'm gonna put in my pattern kind of down low. I want to try and go for kind of a nice little wave pattern. I'm not looking for like hard spikes or anything like that. I guess if you've never ever done it before, kind of take what you can get, I suppose. I think it's going to be fairly important to keep it roughly the same thickness. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Boy, this is not as easy as you'd think it would be. That's for sure. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Just have to do the exact same thing on this side. You know, I should get my wife to do this because she is quite an artist. She's incredibly talented at this type of stuff. I'm not loving this one. Mad props to you guys who do this and make it look easy. Oh man. Eesh. Oh, I just got a nice radius on that. I like that. How did I do that? Oh, we're going with that. We're gonna call that, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna stick this outside to dry. Oh, first, I need a picture for the old Instagram. Boop, boop. Caught gramming.
Hello, Priscilla. Do you like my hormone? Don't touch it.
All right, so while that's drying outside, I need to pack up a couple knives, get them into the post office. Send a thank you note and a sticker with every knife purchase. This becomes test cut paper. This got out of hand on me. That is ugly. Sorry, Greg. Also, I just went out and checked on the clay and it's getting a couple of little cracks in it. So what I'm gonna do is kind of wait till it dries out a little bit more and just kind of fill those cracks in with a little bit more of the clay. I think that might be a good idea. I'm not entirely sure though. All right, so the clay is mostly dry, less the couple of parts that I covered up. So we're just gonna stick it in here, see what happens. Okay. All right, I think this thing's ready to come out, and so far the clay has stayed on there. So let's get our little quench tank. I don't know why I groaned, it's not really that heavy. We grab some gloves. The moment of truth is upon us. Whoa, come on, stop it, stop it. Oh, I mean, whoops. This blade is shot. 100% completely shot. All right, let me show you. Let me show what I'm talking about. So you know how I thought I ground the blade too thin? Oh my. Yep. Yep. What a heartbreak. You know, the worst part is, this is a mistake that I've previously made. It's one thing to make mistakes. I mean, who cares about that? But legit, I mean, how many times am I going to do this before I learn my lesson? That would have been a pretty cool hormone too. So I like that pattern and it looks like it worked. except for that. Well, 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 you know, there's that old adage, knife makers don't make mistakes, they just make smaller knives. I mentioned in a previous vlog that I don't know if I really subscribe to that because honestly, it's a mistake. We need to call our mistakes mistakes. However, I really like the concept that, you know, take some lemons and make some lemonade. I think I may have lucked out with this because here's a look at that taco McTaco. But if you see where it starts is right there. So up to like right there, it's perfectly flat. What I'm thinking I may be able to do, and I need to just further, I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little too optimistic here, but what I'm actually gonna try and do is essentially grind it down right there and make a smaller knife, see? I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't make a mistake because that was a mistake. Why would I grind it that thin? I even knew it before a heat treat. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be too thin. Yeah, totally too thin. But, I'm gonna continue with this. I'm gonna press on. I'm not gonna throw this away and say, oh, whatever, it's a piece of scrap, because then I lose whatever I may have learned about the jamon. That cement, that came off really well, and I think it worked. I mean, I'm liking the look of that. It actually might look really cool to have it right close to the cutting edge there, I'm not sure. Hopefully we can bring that back. Next time I try jamon on a knife like this, I'll probably just maybe barely rough in some grinds. My theory, what I didn't know about, this is like 1084, they call it a shallow hardening steel. And what I didn't know is that, you know, if I put the jamon in at full thickness, if it would go all the way into the material, or if it'd be just close to the surface, and so once I start grinding, the jamon disappears. So that's kind of why I was wanting to take it a little bit further before heat treat. But lesson learned, kids, don't do what I did, because we're not making these tacos. There's a crinkle cut fry cutter now. You know, if we could keep that consistent, we'd be in business. But maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, we'll pick this back up, see what we can do about it, and then actually have a look at the jamon and see what came out, because I'm really hoping this turned out. Anyways, guys, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you have not done so already. I'm gonna whip in and have some supper, and it's gonna be a beautiful evening, so I might join the boys of the old game of airsoft. My sons really love shooting me with airsoft rifles, and that's kind of fun shooting them too. So thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Oh, man.